It's no secret that, for better or for worse, nothing makes the world of CSGO spin like a skin. What the Amidst a sea of sigh-inducing cent-on-the-dollar blues, there shines an elite crew of highly coveted statement pieces. Classic, iconic, costly showstoppers that'll help you stomp the server in style.
He needs a multi-kill, first found, Twist aggressing. They have to double peek, he's getting his shots, he's hitting another one! Simple! No! Simple! That's unbelievable!
But no matter how flashy and sophisticated said showpieces get, none will ever supersede or even be as sought after as the bolt-action beast that started it all.
So it could be really rough for Simple to actually get through this. He's going to throw the AWP in. Oh my god! Simple, what is happening?
This is the story of the CSGO cosmetic to end all CSGO cosmetics. The ultra-rare offering that, when you think about it, essentially shaped the world of skin trading, gambling, and scamming into the withering Wild West it is today.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no! No! I've lost Dragon Lore!
This is the story of the Dragon Lore. Okay, so in order to understand why the D-Lore was such a seminal addition to Counter-Strike cosmetics, we first need to understand why it is that cosmetics were such a seminal addition to Counter-Strike. Launched as part of the Arms deal update in August of 2013, 1 year after CSGO's initial launch, the introduction of weapon skins wasn't just seen as a way to spice up this fabled FPS, but to support it as it entered a new age.
So this takes the good aspects of TF2, you know, the whole first-person shooter style of monetizing it, and it also takes the parts of Dota 2, where they've learned how to do an esport, and it also introduces some cool new stuff, you know, knives and weapon skins, and that's right, you get skins on your weapon. You can paint on it. It looks green or look red or blue.
Aside from earning Valve a ton of revenue, cosmetic sales crowdsourced funds for CSGO's blossoming esports scene, and eventually the influx of artists who, like in Valve's other self-published titles, Dota 2 and Team Fortress 2, took their talents to the Steam workshop.
The skins update was a big change for the community, giving you something you can buy, something that you can customize your guns.
It's done where it doesn't necessarily impact gameplay, but it gives people this exciting element to keep coming back and keep playing to get more skins.
Of course, what made these infrastructures so interesting back in the early to mid 2010s, before microtransactions became what they are today, is how haphazard and experimental they were.
We decided that CSGO would become our first game in which every item can be placed on the marketplace, and individual items can't be bought any other way. In fact, the only thing that we planned to sell directly were the keys used to open our case drops.
As revealed during a talk at the 2014 Game Developers Conference, Valve knew that adding skin economies to their IPs could be huge. They just didn't know what those economies should look like, or the skins, for that matter.
At this point, we were getting actually really concerned, because how many different camouflage weapons can we make that people are really going to care about? But as we got further along gathering reference, we discovered that there's a whole world out there we weren't even aware of. People make crazy things for their weapons, everything from intricate Victorian scrollwork right up to straight up graffiti.
Unsurprisingly, perhaps, CSGO's initial cosmetic offerings weren't especially imaginative. Since Valve wasn't actually sure what the community would gravitate towards, bright neon-looking numbers or drab realistic camos, they slapped together safe lo-fi offerings in the interest of seeing what would stick.
The higher tier of the esports 2013, stuff like the Alt Boom, was actually a little wild. But if you look at the Weapon Case 1, I think that was their general impression of what was going to succeed.
Of course, they did stick, but in a way that was, by today's standards at least, somewhat tame.
Obviously back then, there wasn't the same interest in skins, there wasn't the same economy in the market as there is today. Like back then, there wasn't much money online in general. Like people had their pocket money that they would spend, or like a $10 Steam card, and that would get you an AK and AWP and mainly like your whole loadout for 10, 15 bucks minus the knife, of course, you know.
Speaking of knives, none of this is to say that the early days of CSGO skins didn't yield their own array of elite offerings. Opening cases is just as expensive, awful, and exhilarating now as it was back then.
No way you didn't just open that shit.
I think that's what sets apart CSGO skins from TF2 skins and, you know, other skins, is that there's such complexity to CSGO skins that TF2 skins or other games don't have, you know?
And yet, in spite of the unprecedented depth, sophistication, and rarity of such offerings, the market was still nascent. People still looked at skins as, well, just that, playthings.
Back in the early times, a lot of stuff was done on the Steam market. There wasn't really any third-party websites, and that was kind of limited to, back then the Steam max was around $400, I believe.
And then, late in the summer of 2014, CSGO saw the release of Operation Breakout, and with it, 3 newly themed weapon collections: Baggage, Overpass, and Cobblestone. And in the last of those, crowning the top, sat a covert that would change CSGO skins forever.
When the D-Lore landed, it was just the first of its kind, wasn't it? It was nothing like the community he had ever seen before, and unfortunately had a price tag to follow.
Within a matter of months, this exquisite, ornate, and unprecedentedly unattainable AWP had caught the community's attention like no cosmetic ever had.
Just in terms of like the aesthetics of the skin, it was the first one that people looked at and just thought, wow, the amount of detail and attention that has gone into the skin and just the overall look of it, and the dragon, you know, like amazing.
I would definitely agree that it was the first skin that had that status of like shock factor, like almost like a Lamborghini in real life, you know. It was that first thing that's like everyone's like, oh my god, this guy on the team has a Dragon Lore.
One of the reasons for this, of course, is that by the time 2015 was underway, a certain cracked out of his mind AWPer was not only cementing himself as the nuttiest player alive, but conducting quickscope-oriented pyrotechnics, the likes of which the world had never seen.
They need to go big, and Kenny's gonna go ahead and peek in a second minute, and he gets the flick on his Zipnix lightning fast!
He doesn't have like any time to work with. The bomb pass can take 5 seconds alone. He's gonna go for it behind the fountain. Kerrigan just gonna charge him down. He's gonna miss quite a few pistol shots. Kenny S, he picks up the kill! Kerrigan should not have, but then he gets the second! Kenny S clutches the round!
Not only did Kenny S cause AWPing to explode in popularity, but certain AWPs in particular. Namely, the signature fabled frag utensils that were his Asimov and eventually Dragon Lore, both of which he cheekily dubbed his magic stick.
He's inside of this one. He's trying to play clever with this AWP, and he's got one. No! No way, Kenny! You gotta stop! Take it away from him. There's no way to shut him down up close today.
This is where KS can shine, and another flick shot. He just doesn't stop. He's not letting up. The pressure is being applied, and Astralis cannot deal with Kenny S.
It's a match made in heaven, isn't it? Like, everyone watching him is going to want to be like him, and one of the best ways to just stunt out and be like him is going to be with the Dragon Lore.
Everyone and their mother wanted a D-Lore. But because it was an operation drop, it was really rare, only available for a limited time, and since it was extremely sought after, bought off the market almost instantly. Securing one basically became the single biggest flex in Counter-Strike.
Please! Gavin! Gavin! Yeah! Yeah!
Well, almost the biggest flex.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh.
To this day, there is no more esteemed pull in the whole of Counter-Strike than a souvenir Dragon Lore. Like the skin itself, the act is a thing of legend, a feat so probabilistically unlikely that to achieve it is in essence to do the impossible, to etch oneself into CSGO skin history.
What the What the What the
I had already opened so many of them, and I already knew the chances were so incredibly slim, and I got nothing but purples. So as soon as I saw that Dragon Lore just roll into the screen and actually land, I just couldn't believe it.
But honestly, it didn't matter whether your D-Lore was souvenir or straight up, spotless or scuffed as shit. The skin was such a showpiece, held so much cultural clout, that to own any iteration of it made you feel like you were on top of the world.
Nitro does have a Molotov and another smoke, so it could be really rough for Simple to actually get through this. He's going to throw the AWP in. Oh my god! Simple, what is happening?
The issue, of course, is that soon after the skin started to become absurdly iconic, so too did it start to become absurdly scarce.
I mean, what actually happened is that they just became hoarded, right? So you would have the big bots of trading sites. They would use that as sort of like their bankroll. So you would fill an inventory with howls, medusas, and D-lores, and then get them banned by Valve later on. So that's sort of like how the supply diminished as well, is because of people using the D-lore as literal currency.
Whether you were into trading sites, gambling sites, building a collection for the ages, or simply scamming people, the Dragon Lore became the go-to coinage and collateral of any and all Counter-Strike related dealings, illicit or otherwise.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no! No! I've lost Dragon Lore!
Coupled with the fact that Cobblestone was removed from the active duty map pool about midway through 2018, removing the possibility for new souvenir drops, and the fact that CSGO went 2 years without an operation, the Dragon Lore went from scarce to all but extinct.
Where have the Dragon Lores gone? Because it's been about 18 months since they were last dropping during Operation Hydra, and over 12 months since the last major, E-League Boston, which had souvenir Cobblestone package drops, which is a bit weird considering the Dragon Lore is one of the most iconic and valuable skins in CSGO.
Just the structure of the whole skins itself, it kind of ensures its rarity, and the fact that obviously they're not, well, to my knowledge, they're not getting put back into the game anytime soon.
And then a huge new player who'd entered the market about a year and a half prior started to get serious about Counter-Strike in a way that really upped the player base, and by extension, skin prices, like never before. China.
They shifted this entire thing of just hoarding D-lores into everyone needed it. It's a starter kit. It's a rich player starter kit. So if you wanted to become a respectable collector, you needed a factory new Dragon Lore, you need a blue gem, you need a sapphire knife, you need a howl, and you need some factory new gloves or something like that.
As far as AWPs go, there is no debating that this thing is #1, and not just because it's expensive, but because it's seen as a sign of how wealthy you are. If you're rich, you buy a Dragon Lore. If you want to prove you're really, really rich, you buy 10 Dragon Lores. This is how you demonstrate to people that you have money.
Within no time, the Dragon Lore went from this high-end luxury showpiece to an essential, indispensable status symbol. An unmistakably iconic, instantly recognizable must-have for any and every wealthy trader who wanted to flex on the have-nots.
But nowadays, I've experienced this personally. This is a funny story. A Chinese collector goes into a game, meets another Chinese collector. He has a he has a minimal wear Dragon Lore. And the guy's like, don't you have a factory new Dragon Lore? Are you poor? He buys a factory new Dragon Lore in-game to settle that with the other guy.
Because when all is said and done, the Dragon Lore isn't just a skin, it's the skin. The one that everyone recognizes across every era, sector, and skill echelon of CSGO.
Wait! He has a Dragon Lore! What? What the hell? This dude's inventory is nuts. Did he get mass reported because he's got such a nice inventory?
It doesn't matter how many pretenders to the throne might emerge, and how shiny, sophisticated, and genuinely sought after they might be. There is nothing as clean, as classic, as timeless, and emblematic of the esport it helped evolve as a Dragon Lore.
AWP drops bomb as well. That means they have to recommit. Good find therefore for Lucas. Still an all-important round. And a massive frag from Pasha. Gave them a lifeline in the first half. This time he may give them more than that as he finds a third. What a game.
Device just had a really rough game. Flashed. He's going to get that shot. And that has to feel a little bit good. Out middle of the air to take down Alex. And now they're pushing. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. He takes every single one from nothing to the AWP ace.
Modesty
On catwalk, finds the timing, 8 seconds. If he can drop the bomb, it'd be everything. But it travels into the site. 1-on-2 from Odyssey now. It's sacrificial, gives his position away. He wants Odyssey's aim gone. But this man, oh, the shepherd's staff takes down the goat.
Howls, Katos, Blue Gems, all of them go hard. But none of them can capture the attention of a counter-striker like a Lore.
Oh my god! No way! I got a Dragon Lore! I got a Dragon Lore!
Please stop.
No way! No way! No way, dude! I actually got one!
The Dragon Lore is, in no uncertain terms, the one true king of CSGO skins. Through thick and thin, it has stood atop the world of Counter-Strike. And it's safe to say that for as long as there are skins to trade, it always will.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit us up on our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.